And let me see what is happening. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So how are you, everyone now? Everyone is fine.
Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah.
Yes, yes, Alhamdulillah.
So I now, okay, okay,
Yes, sir. Done.
okay. So I hear, I think I'm audible to everyone. Okay, that's great. So my friends, thank you very much. Some of you have joined, and many of you have not joined. Um, uh, so today, what I was telling, because I'm not well, and still I am with you every time. You know, so I appreciate those who are here and getting benefit the energy that we all are putting into this project. And working with you guys. I really appreciate for your cooperation because we go hand in hand. Like it's not one-sided. I work and I work for, and you also work actually, you know, because you cooperate with, we cooperate with each other. For what? For our society, for humanity, for each other, for brotherhood, for communication. So we all work together. Okay. So if you are not there, I cannot work because you are there. That's why I'm working, and so we go hand in hand, and that is the beauty. So I really appreciate all of you, those who have joined. Um, Today we have a workshop because we organize this workshop. I saw many of you don't know how to write an email. Okay, and writing email is very important. I mean, very much required in our time. Okay, and every time, like earlier, we used to write a letter. Okay, but nowadays we write very frequently an email, and writing email is a means of communication. Like we communicate, we express ourselves professionally, emotionally, in any way. Okay, so this is very important. So I saw some of you are writing very good email. You have a very good um, communication skill, but many of you don't know how to write an email. So we thought like we can organize a workshop. So for that, you will know how to write email to even to Umran also, and to in your professional career, like I went to communicate with your friends. Um, so this will be series, two series of this email and communication workshop. So first today we will have, and it will be focused particularly on email. And the trainer we have from Pakistan, Rimsha Iqbal, and she's a lecturer at Rifa University, and she's also doing her PhD in management course. She's there. Rimsha, are you there? So Rimsha is here with us.
I'm here.
Yes. So she will be doing with the workshop. I would like to have your active participation and cooperation. So Rimsha, floor is yours. You can start.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I would like to say assalamu alaikum and greetings to all the participants. And I hope you all are doing great.
Walaikum assalam.
Walaikum assalam.
Rimsha, you can unmute yourself now. I muted all. Just a minute. Let me mute all, and then you can unmute. Yes, now you can. Yes, you can unmute yourself now.
All right. So slides are visible to you all?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So students, before, as sir told you my introduction, my name is Rimsha Iqbal, and I have done MS in Management Sciences, and I am also pursuing PhD in Management Sciences from Rifa International University, Islamabad. And at the same time, I'm also teaching as a junior lecturer in the same university. And I'm associated with this academia from the last 4 years. And this is my first time, like I'm going to deliver any workshop. So I hope that you will enjoy it, you will learn from it. And at the same time, you will also give me suggestions on how I can improve it further. So as the sir told you, the primarily purpose of doing this workshop is to guide you on how to write an effective and informative, and you can say a formal or a professional email. The primarily focus of this workshop is on this content, and inshallah in the future I will also guide you about how you can have what is the significance of communication, and specifically verbal and non-verbal communication. And I will also guide you about the different etiquettes that we have to follow while we are attending any formal meeting, or if we are making any phone call to some professional, or if we are making any formal phone call, then what are the different etiquettes that we need to follow. So inshallah, in future, we will cover these aspects too. So before starting the presentation, I would like to read this disclaimer that the content provided on this presentation is just for educational purposes only, and the subsequent video of the slides represents the views of the presenter and not necessarily of the author or the institution. Students, I expect a participative mode from your side as well, and we have set a norms, like if you have any question or if I ask you to participate, then please raise your hand and then I'll call your name and then you will participate. So these are the norms of the workshop, and we all have to follow these norms. At the same time, we expect that you will keep your mics muted until unless you have any question. So students, let's first have let's first have a look on the outline of today's workshop. So today we are first going to have an icebreaker activity. What is the purpose of doing this activity? We will discuss it later on. Then I will share the learning outcomes of this workshop. Like after completing this workshop, what are the different learning points for you people, or what would you will be able to do in the future. Then I'll share a brief background of communication, and we will study in detail, like the primarily focus is on communication via email. So we will also look on the significance of communicating via email in the current times. Then students, we will discuss about the anatomy of email address. Like we need to understand the structure of an email address, what part is called the user name or user part, and what is the domain name. So we will have a look on the anatomy, or you can see a structure of email address. Then we will also discuss certain mailing folders, like we have an inbox or outbox or draft or junk or spam. So what are the purposes of these mailing folders? I will discuss these things with you. Then inshallah, we will cover the most important part of this workshop is like we need to know about the different components or elements of an email. Like when we are writing an email, then we have to make sure about 5 different components, they must be there in our email. So what are that components? And we will also learn on how to write an formal email. I will also share students with you the different mistakes, the common mistakes that we mostly do being a student or being a professional, the different mistakes that we make, what are those mistakes and how we can avoid them. And in fact, you people can also tell me if I'm missing some points, then you can add on the certain mistakes you feel being an intellectuals that are being made by the students. Then students, I will share a video clip that I have taken from a Google digital platform. I'll share that video clip with you, and that video clip basically recap all the topics that we have covered so far. So that video clip is just for the reflection. Then students, you will also practice writing an email. I'll provide you with a platform where you will, I will provide you with some situation, and I'll ask you people to write a proper email. And last but not the least, we will be having a short quiz. The purpose of this workshop is to teach you about how to write a formal email or to get to know about the different components of an email. So inshallah, in the end of the session, we will be having a very brief or very easy quiz. If you attend the workshop in a serious manner, or if you note down the important points, then you would be able to attempt this quiz that is very easy. So from the quiz, I will get the feedback like you people learned about the specs or not. And then in the end, we will be having the question answer session, or any comments or suggestions from your side, they are welcome. So that is the overall agenda of today's workshop. Now, moving towards icebreaker activity. Is there anyone who can tell me what is the purpose of having these type of activities, icebreaker activities, specifically when we are conducting any session, any workshop, any training session, any seminar, if we are a part of seminars? So mostly trainers or the resource person, they start with these type of activities. What is the purpose of an icebreaker activity? Is there anyone who can tell me?
If someone is
You have
sleeping,
to raise your hand first.
to wake someone up, like someone is sleeping, so wake up, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you repeat, please?
It's just like to wake up, like some of people, some are sleeping,
Yes.
so to wake up, like shake up.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yes, sure. Abdul Rahman, sure.
Yes. As far as I know, this will be as an introduction on how to write an email, and to have a good idea about to write an informative email.
That's fine. That's fine. That is the purpose of this workshop. So I'm just primarily asking about this icebreaker activity. Anyway, students, I'm going to start from this activity. The purpose of doing these icebreaker activities is to get to know your audience. Now, mashallah, we will be having 78 participants, and as I don't know you all, I do not have a one-to-one communication with you all just because of the time constraints. So I am going to have this question for you. You have to choose one word that can be an adjective which best describes your personality, but there is a condition. Now, what is the condition? The first word must start with the first alphabet of your first name. The word must start with the first alphabet of your first name. For instance, my name is Rimsha. My first name is Rimsha. So my first alphabet is R. And I thought of an adjective, and I think responsible Rimsha defines me very well. So now in a similar manner, you have to participate in this activity. But what is the mode of participation? How you will participate? I'm going to explain it as well. Just tell me what you have to do. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's great. Now I'm going to provide you with this platform. You can open this slido.com website from your cell phone, or from the laptop, or from the tab, from wherever you are connected. Just open this website, slido.com. When you will open this website, students, they will a dialog box will appear, and they will ask you for a code. Just write this code 812737. When you will enter this code, the same question will appear on your screens, and there will be an option to reply. So I'm waiting for your answers. As soon as you will send your answer will appear here. What you have to do, the adjective will be there. Then you have to put one hyphen and then your name. So I'm waiting for your responses. Do it. The name is displayed on the screen. It's slido.com. slido.com. Simple slido.com. I have also mentioned the code. That's really nice. We are getting responses. So we have the first response. We have Bashful Bushra here in our session. That's really nice. We have sincere Salima. That's
Thank
great.
you, ma'am.
Who is
Excuse
this?
me,
Yes, yes.
ma'am, could you repeat the code?
Code is 812737. We have authentic. It's Ayush. Ayush. We have authentic Ayush. That's really nice. Who is annoying? You have to write your name as well, students. Otherwise, I don't know. I'll not get to know. We have kind-hearted whom. You have to write your name as well. You can edit your response. We have talented Tapoti. That's really nice. We have adorable Arshad in our class. Great. Analytical Anubhav. That's great. We have charming Shira. That's great too. Meticulous Mahima is there in our class. Great. Sensible Shahid. Very nice. Rising Rajiv. That's great, sir. Reliable Rizwan is here as well. Great. Responsible Rahul. Very nice. Lively Lima. Great, Lima. We have natural Naveen. Very nice. Authentic Atif is there as well. So you have done with it, or still? I have 77 participants and I have just received 21 answers. Please do not use your pen or anything. Do not annotate on the screen. We have Zila Zainab. Great. Raghib, what you have right? I do not understand it. What M? Adorable Asfa is there as well. Great. Kind-hearted Kalpana is here as well. Very nice. Kalpana, I guess ma'am is ma'am Kalpana. Unique Osama is there as well. Great. All right, students, I'm just giving you 2 more minutes. Then we have to move towards the session. Abdul Malik is telling active Abdul Rahman. Great, great. So I expect you all to be active during the session and try to learn the key points, and inshallah, you will practice those points in the future. All right, so you will keep on sending the responses. We will come back to this slide later on. We have to move towards the session as well. So students, I'll request you to come back towards the workshop slides. Shamsa, please do not use this pen or anything on the screen. All right, students, let's have a look on this learning outcomes. After completing this workshop, students, you would be able to analyze the impact of proper email on recipient, like why it is important to write a proper email, and if our email is not proper, it's not written in a proper way, it's not formatted properly, then what would happen with our email? Is it something that our email is being read by the recipient, or is you will learn about the different components of an email. I'll explain you the different etiquettes of writing an email. We will get to know about the different elements and formatting. This is very important. So we will also get to know about the formatting of an email, how to format an email. You would be able to write clear and concise email, and we will also learn, as I told you, about the different mistakes while writing the formal email. So you will avoid these mistakes in future, inshallah. So these were the few learning points of today's workshop, learning outcomes, sorry. Now moving towards background, before moving directly towards email, students, we need to discuss a brief background. Communication. What is communication? I want you people to tell me how you define communication. What is communication in your eyes? What does it mean? Is there
Question
anyone who
and
can tell
answer.
me what is communication?
Question and answer.
Yes, please, Abdul Rahman.
Question and answer. This is a
It's
communication.
question and answer. You exchange information like that. Okay, great. Is there anyone who can tell us what is communication? Yes, Shira.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, good afternoon. Ma'am, we can say that communication is to interact with people and to know them.
Very nice, very nice. Communication means to interact with people, to know them. That's great. Yes, Arshad.
Yeah, it's importing or exchanging information by any means like speaking, writing, or using some other medium.
That's great too. So communication means, as per Arshad, communication means you are going to exchange information through different means, writing, in written form, in oral form.
Excuse me, some ideas, some feelings. So means of communication.
Yes, that's great, Ujala. That's means of communication are there as well. So students, communication means exchange of information, opinion, ideas, information or emotions as well. When we'll discuss in detail in our next workshops, inshallah, about non-verbal communication, then we are exchanging emotions as well. And effective communication means when the purpose of communication is fulfilled, when you get a desired response from your audience, from your recipient, then it means you have effectively communicated your message. Students, whenever we talk about communication, we need to know the difference between hard skills and soft skills. Is there anyone who can have an idea about what is the difference between hard skills and soft skills? All right, let me explain you, students. Hard skills are those skills that are required to execute any task. Like if you are working in an organization, so certain skills are required along with your qualification that will help you to perform the task that is being given to you. So hard skills could be your typing skills, it could be your computer skills, or maybe you have some professional certification, or maybe you are good in bookkeeping if you are an accountant and so on. But at the same time, students, in order to further progress in the career, whether we are either we are a student or we are a professional or we are an owner or we are working somewhere, we need to have a good soft skills. Soft skills are basically interpersonal skills. We call them people skills or soft skills or social skills. They are also very important, and these are the personal qualities that will assist you to deliver your message, to understand others person's situation. Like empathy is also a soft skill. You put yourself into the shoes of others and try to understand what the other person is feeling. So these soft skills are interpersonal skills, and they are very important in our professional career. So along with hard skills, communication is the most important soft skill. Students, I'll quote one quotation over here. Like I have read somewhere, whatever job you are doing now, your success will be determined 5% by your academic credentials, 15% by your professional experience, and 80% by your communication skills. So there are the different means of communication, inshallah. There are different forms of communication. Like we have a formal communication. We also have an informal communication mechanisms. And before moving towards email, we need to understand the communication process. Now, like I am a sender. I'm a sender, and what I want to communicate, I'm going to encode my message. And for instance, I have prepared the slides for you people. So I am a sender, and I have encoded my message in a written form. So I have prepared slides for you people. And then I need a medium. Medium is the form of communication. It's in verbal form or non-verbal form. So right now, if I just look on the slides, if
Excuse
I
me,
ignore this
virtual forms of communication and listening communication, written communication, that are the forms of communication, ma'am.
There are multiple you can characterize this communication into multiple forms. You can divide it into formal, informal. You can divide it into written or verbal and non-verbal or virtual communication. So you can classify it into different forms. Generally, the two forms are formal and informal. And informal communication, then we have the certain types. like we are communicating via email or we are communicating via letters. I actually want to understand the difference between medium and channel. What you are saying now, virtual or a written form, these are the medium of communications. Like the message, your message is communicated either in written form or it is verbal, it is in oral form, or you are using some video for it. And
Excuse
channel
me,
is
ma'am.
basically the mean of communication. Like
Rimsha, ma'am,
you
your
are
voice is
sending your,
cracking.
am I audible, students?
Your voice is cracking, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, but
Yeah,
your
ma'am.
voice is not quite good. It is quite tough to understand.
But it was clear to me. It is clear to me.
All right. Right now, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So students, I was discussing this mode of communication, or overall, you can say the model of communication. I was discussing it with you people, and I try to make you clear about the difference between medium and channel. So email is basically a channel, a mean through which we communicate, and medium is it's in a written form. So inshallah, we will also discuss this thing in detail in the upcoming slides. Now, moving towards the electronic mail or email. Yeah, email is basically, it's electronic mail. Yeah, it is basically a mail electronically via internet. In order to send an email, we need to have an access to internet, and at the same time we also need to have an account on our mail server. Like you people have an account, either you are using Gmail or Yahoo Mail, or you are using some mail server with an institution you are associated with. And at the same time, you also need to have and sporting software on your system as well. Then we need username and password that will allow you to access your account. And email programs allow you to send, compose, reply, and forward email. We will discuss these things in detail. Email are generally used both within the organization, like in-house communication is also there, and outside the organization. If we primarily discuss with reference to workplace, then we have some formal within, we have in-house communication that could be formal, informal, and we also have communication outside the organizations. Students, what is the significance of communicating via email? Like, see, in this current era of globalization, and you can say in this current era where we have an
The
easy
distance
access.
doesn't matter using email.
Yes, that's great. In this current era of globalization, or where we have an easy access to internet, and specifically in this time of COVID, just because everything is shifted to the virtual communication, so email is a most common mean of communication nowadays. I will also share certain statistics with you people, and we can easily deliver our message with the help of an email if we are writing a proper email. There is a condition, and we can easily reach globally dispersed audience. We can easily connect anyone in some different continents. Like from our continent, we can easily connect with the individuals that are there in Africa, or that are there in America, or in some other part of the world. So it is also used to distribute information to a large number of people quickly. Like I want to deliver my message to say 20 individuals, so I can easily, within one go, within one email, I can just write down their email IDs, and I can easily send my message to a large number of audience. And if you want to have a written record of your communication, or if you want to get to know about the conversation that you have done before with some other person, you can easily track record that conversation through the email. So these are some of the significance of communicating via email. So that's why this workshop is being organized. Like we need to learn how to write a proper email, so that our email, the purpose or the thing that we want to communicate is communicated effectively. Students, I would like to share certain statistics with you people. Like according to Reddy source, this is basically a technology market research firm. They have certain email or daily email traffic in the last 5 years. And see, according to them, the usage of email is increasing day by day. Like if we look at the figures of 2015 and look at the figures of 2019, so we will be having, according to them, 128.8 million emails were sent or received daily. That basically tell the daily email traffic, and it includes basically both the consumer email sent and business email sent. So there is another statistics by this Statista. Again, this is a research-oriented organization that provide the research-oriented data. So according to them, see, they have tried to investigate the daily number of email worldwide from 2025. They have also some projected figures there as well. So look at that, from 2017, 269 billion emails were sent or received on daily basis. And see, there is a rise in this figure, and what is expected in 2025, 376.4 emails will be sent and received per day. So now you understand the significance of communicating via email globally. These statistics are clear to you? Are you with me, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
Yes,
students,
ma'am.
I would also, that's great. I would also like to share certain interesting facts with you people. Like, look at this one. Did you know that average office worker receives around 80 emails a day? See, average worker is receiving 80 emails a day. And like any method of communication, email can cause confusion, annoyance, and even resentment if they are handled incorrectly. So just because of a busy routine, and specifically in this time of students partial attention, where we are communicating by using different means, we are communicating via emails, we are also receiving text messages, we are also communicating via different social media apps के through we are communicating, we are also using web for the communication. So if we are not organizing our message properly in terms of professionally, then there are the chances that the recipient will have an emotion of anger after receiving an email. Look, just imagine you are sending an email without, you have written in an email that please find the attachment, and there is an attachment missing. So a person from his or her busy schedule, if a person is going to read your email, and if he or she do not find the attachment, then the emotion of anger is triggered among that person. So this is very important. Like, there is another statistics. A recent survey showed that 64% of working professionals had sent or received email that unintentionally caused anger or resentment. So from these interesting facts, we get to realize the significance of writing a proper email, so that our email is not being ignored by someone, or the recipient is not going to have some negative emotions trigger among him or her after receiving our email. So that is basically the purpose, that we need to have a proper, informative, or you can say brief or specific email. We need to learn this thing so that we can write a proper or a brief or a specific or an informative email. Now, moving towards students, the anatomy about the email address, like we will try to learn about, you can say, the structure of an email address. So look at this email address, charles.ruthcom@elementalsgroup.com. Now, everything on the left side of at the rate of symbol is called username, and everything on the right side of at the rate symbol is called domain name. The screen is visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So we need to understand anatomy is basically, students, it's you can say it's a branch of science that is used to study the structure of organisms. So here we are going to we are trying to understand the structure of an email ID. So we should know what part is called the username and what part is called the domain name. So whatever is you are using your first name or you are using your second name, this is called username, and the rest is basically the domain name, where we have the machine name usually ends with the country code. Sometimes you will find an email, like if I share my email, rimsha.iqbal@rifa.edu.pk. So the PK and edu means that I have an association with educational institute, and PK means that I am associated, I am from Pakistan. So similarly, you will be having your email IDs as well. .com is for business or commercial use. .edu is for educational institutions. .gov is for governmental. If you are having association with government, then this type of email IDs you have. So this is basically the structure of an email. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So students, is it important to have a very proper or proper email ID? Like if I have an email like a cuteprincess@gmail.com. So how does it sounds to you?
Very unprofessional.
Is it give some unprofessional? So students, the most important issue that we face, like me being a teacher, sometimes I have received an email from a very improper email IDs. And whenever you are communicating with, whenever you are having a very formal communication, or think that you are writing an email to your boss or to your supervisor or to your teacher from a very unprofessional email ID. So what sort of image is being developed in your professor's mind about you? This is very important, students. Most of the times we received an email from unprofessional email IDs. Sometimes students, when they do not have an understanding of the significance of a proper email ID, just in a sense of enjoyment, they sometimes develop a non-professional or unprofessional email IDs. That's fine. But now for a formal communication, when you are associated with an institution or when you have to communicate formally and even informally too, you need to have a proper email ID. If you don't have a proper email ID, then this is the right time, students. Try to make your proper email ID that at least must contain your first name or last name. Like cuteprincess@gmail, smartboy@yahoo.com. I've just written two examples. Multiple examples are there. These are not appropriate. When I received an email from this email ID, the first thing that come in my mind is that the person who is sending me an email is quite non-serious. The person even don't know what sort of email ID he or she should have. So this is very important, students. Can you share me your email IDs via chat box so that I can have a look what sort of email IDs you have? I'm reading few AM Khan .malik67, Abdul Malik Khan .67. That's fine, great. We have Adiba Sadiki.amu@gmail.com. Good. Proper name is there. Then we have Mozen Baha proper email IDs. That's great. So students, you can use your first name or you can use your last name as well while writing an email. I have been given an example like jy2000@yahoo.com. So jy2000 is basically the username and this is the domain name. And here I have written my email ID like Rimsha.Iqbal. So this is basically my username and this is the domain name. That's fine, students. Thank you for your active participation. We have habibi.shahid@icloud.com. That's great. All right, students, let's move on towards an understanding about the different mailing folders. Inbox, we have an inbox whatever mail server that you are using, we have different sorts of mailing folders, and somehow these things are common. Like we have an inbox, the new messages are there, as well as the messages that have messages that are not sent yet. We have a draft or an outbox where we can draft our message, and when our message or email is completed, then we can send it. Then we have the sent items folder as well. Messages that have been sent are moved to this mailing folder. Deleted items are there as well. Messages deleted from any folder. Actually, there are certain lines. So, sir, can you just a minute? I can erase them. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. All right, so students, we'll be having a sent items folder where messages that have been sent are there. Deleted items folder is there as well in our mail server, where we have messages deleted from any folder are directly sent to this one. And you can also plan or you can also design custom folders for yourself as well. Additional folders created by the users. For instance, you can create a folder for if you want all of the email from a student. Say if I'm teaching business communication to a group of students and I want all of their emails in one folder, I'm receiving emails or their assignment submissions or anything. So I can create a business communication folder, and there I can easily receive all the emails from that students. So this is how we basically manage our mailing. Basically, we manage our email folders. Now, moving towards students, elements of an email. Yeah, this is the most important, you can say, part of this workshop, where we are going to learn about the different components of an email or elements of an email. We have the recipient, then we have the subject line, then salutation and greeting, body text, and closing and email signatures. So I want you people to tell me who is the recipient. Like if I'm writing an email, so who would be the recipient, or what is the concept of recipient? Yes, please.
Someone who is reading my email.
Who receives our email. The person who receives our email.
That's great. Someone who is reading our email, to whom we have sent an email, or the person who received our email is basically the recipient. And we are going to discuss these subject line in detail because we need to get to know. We are very clear about the recipient. Recipient is a person to whom we have to send an email. For instance, maybe you are sending an email to your course coordinator, Sir Shahnawaz, or maybe you are sending an email to your language teacher. For instance, my language teacher is Miss Shristi. So my recipient, say if I'm writing an email to Miss Shristi, then she will be my recipient. So we are very clear about the email, the recipient. Now, that's fine, Mega, that's fine. So now the subject line is very important, students. Just understand this thing. Subject line of an email is basically, it's just like a newspaper heading where we are having a very brief or important information. This subject line shows the reader the exact subject of the email. So what we do whenever we received an email, first we read the subject line, and if the subject line is clear, then we read the overall whole email. But if we have some confusion in the subject line, then there are the chances that we are going to ignore the email. So the subject line should be specific, it should be concise, it should be brief, and it should be informative. For instance, let me show you different examples. Look at my screen. Is the subject line: required student meeting, August 5th, 9:30 a.m. Now look at this subject line. This subject line is very clear. The sender wants to get the information about the student meeting, and when the meeting is scheduled, it's on 5th August and at 9:30 a.m. So it is also time specific, or time is mentioned as well in the subject line. But now look at this subject line: upcoming meeting. So if I'm going to receive any email from a very generic subject line, then I will get a difficulty in understanding what is there in the email, because subject line is there to just give an idea to a reader what the email is about. So whenever you have to write an email, students, whatever email you are writing, you are submitting, say, any assignment, or you are requesting for the late submission, or you want your course coordinator, say, to share a schedule with you, a schedule of language course that you are doing. So if you will just write, look, if you will just write required language schedule, this is very generic. Now the course coordinator don't know which sort of schedule you need. But if you will write required English A1 language schedule, now this is very specific. When I read the subject line, I'm clear that the student is requesting for a schedule to be shared. For difference between generic and specific subject lines, students?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So, and we also have to make sure that we are not going to send any email with a blank subject line. The subject line should be very clear, it should be specific, it should be brief and informative as well. And you have to keep your audience in your mind. Now if we keep, say, Sir Shahnawaz or the courses coordinator we have, he is very busy. He is receiving a lot of email from a lot of students. So whenever we are going to send any email to our teachers or to any professional, as I have already shared the statistics with you, like on average, a worker receive 80 emails per day. So that's why in order to get a desired response from the recipient, we need to have a very specific and a clear subject line. Now moving towards, after discussing the subject line, we are having a salutation or greetings. This is the third element. We have to start our email with a salutation or with some greeting comments. The salutation directly addresses the person you are sending an email, and it is always used in formal email messages, but sometimes skipped in informal. However, whenever you have to write students in a formal email, you always have to write a salutation or a greeting. You can write salutations or formal greetings. You can write the name of your professor, dear Professor Smith, dear Miss Shristi, dear Sir Rajiv, dear students. If I'm sending an email to my students, I can write dear students. And if you don't know the name of a person to whom you are sending an email, you generally write to whom it may concern. But I'll guide you over here. I'll suggest you have some working. Try to get to know the name of a person to whom you are sending an email, and we will be having a very proper salutation over here. Am I audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. There are some informal salutations are there as well that you can use for informal communication. Students, you can write hey class, or hey Taylor, or hi friend, or hi Sarah, hi Amna. So these are the parts of some informal communication. But in formal communication, we need to use a proper salutation, or you can say a greeting with a proper name. Then students, the main body or the text of the email. This is basically, you can say, the fourth component or fourth element of our email. We started from recipient. We are very clear about the recipient. Then we get to know about the subject line and how we have to design our subject line. Then we discuss about the salutation, how we have to greet the person by writing properly their names, or respected sir, dear ma'am, dear sir. Then we will be having the body text. Students, the first sentence of the main body is known as the opening sentence, and it can be greeting if the salutation allows you. Like you can start it with, hope this email finds you well, hope you are, dear sir, hope you are doing well, hope you are doing great, hope you are keeping safe in this current scenario of COVID-19. So you can have some opening sentence like this. This will show a very kind gesture towards the recipient. Or if you are getting any response, or if you are replying to any email, then you can say, thank you for your prompt response, thank you for your feedback, thank you for your feedback, or you can say, thank you for your suggestion. So these things show, these things basically deliver our emotions as well. However, for the formal emails, it is best to get straight to the point. You can also start directly from the point, so that we will directly get to the message. Depending upon the subject, students, you should have a maximum of 4 paragraphs, and each paragraph should contain a single point. I'll guide you over here. Whenever you are writing an email, try to be very specific. But if you think a lot of information you need to share via email, then plan your email accordingly. Have different paragraphs, but one paragraph must convey one point, or must convey single information about one point. And try to avoid the repetition. Sometimes we don't know, students, whenever we are writing an email, we are going to repeat the same thing again and again. So the best way to overcome this issue is proofread your email. Once you are done with your writing, proofread your email thoroughly, so that you can identify these type of mistakes, or you can identify these type of issues. And students, always remember, writing is an iterative process. Like we write something, then we have to leave it for some time period, and then again when you look on it, you will identify your own mistakes. You will identify, maybe you have done some spelling mistakes, maybe you have done some grammatical mistakes, maybe you feel that your tone or your way of writing is quite harsh, so you can use a neutral words, or you can understand the emotions associated with your email. So writing is an iterative process, and we have to write again and again so that we can develop a good email. Students, now at the end of your email, the last paragraph should also provide a thank you note or a call to action, depend upon the subject of your email. In the end, you can write thank you for your feedback. Please feel free to call or email if you have any queries. So you can use
Ma'am, your
these
voice is
words
not
at the end
clear.
of an email as well. For a formal students, I feel I will be having some connect. Am I audible, students?
No, you are not audible.
Ma'am, if possible, please use microphone. Maybe then it will be clear.
Am I audible now, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So, so students, we have discussed this body text of the email, and we get to know how we have to design it. Like for a formal email, you have to use proper grammar and complete sentences as well. This is very important. And students, you have to avoid using like contractions. Do not go. I'll discuss it in the tips. Do not use any contractions. Do not use any slang or language, informal language. Like sometimes when we are we are the language that we use when we are sending messages is not appropriate. I request you to kindly mute your mics. All right. So you have to make sure, students, that you are using proper language, you are using complete sentences, and you are using proper grammar, and there should be no spelling mistake or spelling error, because you know it whenever we write, then Microsoft Word as well as in the email, we have been easily tell by the software that we have done this spelling mistake or there is a grammatical issue over there, and we can easily overcome it. Now moving towards students, some other points related to the closing of an email. This is basically the last element of an email, and like the salutation, the closing of a formal email can be the same as closing to a letter. Like you write thank you, best regards, sincerely, or thanks and regards. So you have to end your email again in a very kind manner, in the similar way that you have started. And sometimes students, we received an email from the students without any closing. Like I receive an email from a student and I don't know who has sent me an email. There is no identity is not disclosed in the email. So you have, whenever you are sending an email, you have to make sure that you will at least write, if you are not using a proper signature, like we can use a proper signature like John Doe, for instance, sales and marketing director. And see, a lot of information is there. We can create our signatures in the email by going into the settings. वहाँ पर you can also create. And similarly, we can also, students, if we are not going to use any proper signatures, then you just have to write your name and your association. Like you can use your name Sarah, and I am from language German language A1. So we will get to know that who is the person who has sent us an email. So this is very important. Like I have also mentioned, like if I am sending an email to anyone, so my signatures are there, my name is written, my association with an organization is there, my designation is written, email ID and telephone number. These are just optional, but try to use at least, but try to write at least your name and your affiliation. Like if being a student, you are sending an email, or you have an association with an organization, so that association must be depicted in your signatures. Is it clear to you these elements of an email or components, the 5 components that we have discussed so far? These are clear to you, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So now I expect from you all
Excuse
whenever
me,
you.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
In this time, so my mobile network problem, so that in this in my village, so weather problem, so I'm not clear what did you say and what are you. So after that, you can some PDF here. Any
All right, I got your point. I will share these slides with you people, or you can also get the recording of this session as well
Yes,
from
yes,
sir.
we are
So
recording.
we will.
It's on YouTube.
Yes, that's great. So we will share that recording with you people so that you can get an idea if you have missed anything. All right, students. So now
Okay.
we are moving towards the header of the email. I have added this image I have taken from my email. So header of an email basically contains these information. To is a person to whom you have to send an email. Then we have CC, carbon copy, BCC, blind carbon copy. What does these means? I'll share it with you. Then we have this subject where we have to write a very brief and concise, or you can say informative subject. Then here in the main body, here we have to write the salutation first, greetings, and then our main message. And then in the end you have to write a closing remark like thanks or best regards, and then your name will come. So this is basically the header of the email where we have these informations available. It also depends upon the particular program that you are using. To is a person to whom you have to send an email. It is basically your recipient. From is that contains your email address. Then we have the subject that describes the content of the message and presents an opportunity for you to build interest in your message. Then we have CC that allow you to send copies of a message to more than one person. For instance, students, you are sharing certain information and you want this information to be received by multiple persons. So you can write so that in the two you can write the email ID of a main person, and then in CC you can also write the email ID of all the persons to whom you want to receive the same information. Then BCC is blind carbon copy. Blind carbon copy lets you to send the copies to the people without the other recipients knowing. So I'm receiving the text from in the chat that my voice is breaking up. I'm not clearly audible. Is there any issue?
To me, it's clear.
Ma'am, the voice is not that much clear.
Now you are audible, but that time it was not audible.
A few moments ago, it was not clear, but it's clear now.
At
Now
times,
it's clear.
it's cracking
All
sometimes,
right.
at times.
All right. All right. If you missed something, as we told you earlier, if you missed something, then inshallah you will get the recording of this session, and then you have that points that you have missed. Anyway, students, so I was telling you about BCC. BCC is for blind carbon copy. That let you to send copies to the people without other recipient knowing. For instance, you don't want other persons to know to whom you have sent an email, so you can write all the emails, email IDs in the BCC. And then we have the attachment folder as well that contains the names of the files you have attached with your email. So this is all about the header of an email. Now, moving towards the formatting guidelines. All right. So, students, when we have done with our email, then the most important thing is to format it, and then in the end we are going to proofread it. So leave one line space above and below your greeting to set it off from the rest of your message. Look at this image I have inserted. Dear Professor Johnson. So after this salutation, I have to leave this one line so that so that the reader can clearly differentiate between the greeting and then the main message.
Madan.
So you people are requested to kindly mute your mics. All right. So you may end your greeting with a colon or a comma or even two hyphens. That depends upon the level of formality. So mostly you will see formal emails that are going to end with either with a colon or just with a comma. So you can use these two formatting guidelines for your greetings as well. Then your message begins one line space below your greeting. So I have leave one line space between the salutation and between my main message. Then students, just as in memos and letters, skip one line space between paragraphs. Like if your email consists of 2 or 3 paragraphs, then you have to give a space between each paragraph so that the paragraphs are clearly understandable by the reader. And if you have some important information or you want to share some important points, then you can also use number list or bulleted list where appropriate. And students, limit your line lengths to a maximum of 80 characters by inserting a hard return at the end of each line. Do not write a lot of information in single line. Try to break your lines by inserting a hard return. So these are just a few formatting guidelines that you have to follow. Now students, moving towards the few key points that we have to make sure and we have to remember, and we have to remember while we are composing our email. You're not supposed to use any contractions like don't or haven't and isn't. So don't use this. Write properly: do not, have not, is not, I am not. So do not use contractions. Do not write in all capital letters. This is very important. Students, if you are writing the whole message in capital letters, it will give a very it does not give a good impact, or a reader just feel some sort of anger associated with your email. That seems quite harsh. If it seems as you are shouting on someone if you are writing everything in caps lock. So do not write everything in capital letters. You know it that whenever we are going to write the basic guidelines that we have to follow, the first letter of each line start with a capital letter, and then we are using the small letters, and if there is any proper noun, then we have to use a capital letter for the first letters. So we know it very well. Then use formal vocabulary and sentence structure. Do not use slang, or as I told you, sometimes students write emails by using the language that they are using while sending a messages to their friends. A very common slangs are being there. So this is not the right way. Whenever we have to write a professional email, you have to write complete sentences. You have to use proper language. You have to use proper words. And students must proofread the email at least twice and get a second opinion if possible. If you think you are writing a very lengthy email, or maybe you are applying to some query, so you can also take opinion from your co-worker, from other things are fine or not. You can also proofread your email. And the best way to proofread is to leave it for some time and then come back to your email and read it, and then you will identify the mistakes. All right, things are clear over here. This is something that we are going to discuss now with reference to mistakes. So things are clear to you, students? Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. All is clear.
So can you tell me what are some of the mistakes that we mostly do and we have to avoid? Like, I want you people to tell me few mistakes.
Do not write slangs. Do not write capital letters in all the sentences. Don't write too much of information in each sentence. Break sentence evenly to impart your message properly.
That's really great, Hussein. He has identified a lot of mistakes that we have to avoid. Is there any other student who can identify some other mistakes?
I'm choosing the wrong email address to send the email to, and basically forgetting to write the subject and all to give the final salutation. Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice, very nice. Bushra has identified that you have written maybe a wrong recipient email ID, or you've just forgot to write a subject line, or you just send an email with a blank subject line, or you forget even to greet properly to the recipient. So that's fine too. Yes, Abdul Rahman, you want to say something?
I want to say, I hope to avoid if you want to reply, don't make reply to all, because sometimes if you make reply to all, maybe you will send the message to someone of those people whom you shouldn't send to them. يعني you should be careful about reply to all. It should be one by one. It's better.
That's really nice, Abdul Rahman. The sir has identified a very important issue or a mistake, that you are not supposed to reply all to an email all the time. When it is important
Yes.
that your message should reach all the audience, then students use this reply all button. Otherwise, you just have to reply, or if you have to acknowledge any email, just send a reply to a person you that has sent you an email. So just acknowledge the email to him and not to all the recipients. That's really nice. Students, few mistakes I have also written over here, and somehow they are same as you have told, like improper or bad subject lines. We have to avoid it. We have to send an email, as Bushra identified, to a wrong recipient. Again, this is a mistake. We have to avoid it. Unnecessarily long emails. So this is also very hectic to read a lot of a long email. So always try to have a proper email, try to identify or try to just share the important points that are there, and delete unnecessary information from your email. Imperfect spelling or grammar you have used, improper use of reply all, as told by sir, this is also very important. And neglecting to proofread. Students, I have also heard a joke that the best thing that yeah, or you can say the best time when we proofread our email is after sending it. Once we send an email, then quickly we are going to read it. Oh, we is there anything that is not fine, or is there anything that is not good, and we try to proofread it in a very clear manner. But at that time, proofreading is not good. So before sending an email, try to proofread it and try to identify your mistakes, and then send it to the person to whom you have to send. So that's
Can I
all.
say something? Can I say
Uh,
something?
yes, I'm going to share
Rahman,
this.
can you hear me? Can I say something?
Yes, say.
In case if someone sends email and he found that he made a mistake by sending to somebody, not he shouldn't get it, or there are a big mistake. I think there is there is an option in the Outlook that he can pull it out and he can remove it.
Yes, but that option is, I
That
guess, there
that
just
is
for.
only for that is only for not more than 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just saying the same.
Maybe.
Yeah, this option is just for, you can say, 10 a maximum I have experienced like 6 to 7 seconds you can just go through it. Otherwise you cannot unsend it. So within just 6 to 7 seconds you can unsend your email. But that's why I'm saying it must proofread your email in a proper manner before sending it, so that you can avoid all these mistakes. Now students, I'm going to
Ma'am,
share this.
Even I think okay.
ma'am, can I mention one thing as well?
Yes, please, Alize. Sure.
Ma'am, as you were mentioning the mistakes we must avoid. So, one mistake can be checking if our email has been sent properly, because sometimes because of some network issues, it gets saved in the outbox, and we think that it has been sent. So it's better to check that
It
if it's
remains
sent
in
or
the
not.
pending.
Thank you, Alize, for identifying a very important mistake that I just skipped. So this is also important thing, that you have to make sure your email is sent, and your email comes into the sent box instead of draft, or it is showing a status of pending. So that's great, Alize. Now students, I'm going to share this video clip that will just recap whatsoever we have discussed so far. So I have taken it from Google Digital Platform. So let me play it.
There are certain elements that should be included in most professional email, but you'll find your own voice and style. In this video, you will review the structure of an email and the elements to include when writing about most subjects. Then you will choose at least 2 situations to practice writing emails about. All emails have 5 basic parts: the recipient, a subject line, the greeting, the body, and the closing. To start, you will compose a new email. Type the recipient's email address. If you are saving an email as a draft to send later, you can leave this blank. Then add a subject line. It communicates the main point of your message, so your recipient knows what to expect when they open the email. A clear subject line also helps your message stand out in someone's inbox.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. It's not audible.
Start the body of your email with a greeting. The greeting opens the email. It is the way the recipient is addressed. The greeting you choose should fit your audience. Some workplaces may not require a formal title like Mr. or Ms. for a boss or coworker, but they can show respect to a customer, client, or someone you don't know very well. Your greeting can be addressed to one person or a group. Next is the body of the email, the main part of your message. Your message should be clear, brief, and suited to your audience. When you're writing an email, take the time to word it carefully and concisely. A few extra minutes is worth it to communicate effectively. In a personal email or text, you might use abbreviations, incomplete sentences, and emojis to illustrate how you're feeling. In professional emails, it's important to use complete sentences and proper grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Your message should also stay on topic and avoid discussing personal information, even if you're writing about a personal issue. After the body of the email is the closing, where you will end and sign your email. The closing should be followed with your name. If you know the recipient well, you might be able to sign with just your first name. If you don't know the recipient or don't write to them frequently, you will use your first and last name. Now that you know the basics of writing professional emails, move on to practice writing an email for at least 2
Ma'am,
minutes.
voice is not clear.
All right. But things are there on the screen as well. So they have just recapped, like when we are writing an email, then they just tell us about the different elements of an email. Like we need to have a proper subject line, then we need to start from a greeting, then you have the main body, and then we have the closing. So these things are clear to you, students?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's clear.
That's
Yes, ma'am.
great.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. Now let's practice. It's your turn, students. Now you are going to practice writing an email. So what you have to do, I'll guide you. This is the question. You have to write a formal email to your subject teacher. You can use the name of your language teacher as well. You can write an email to the sir or the ma'am on a topic that is given below, keeping in view all the elements we have discussed. And what is the topic of your email or subject? It is request for late submission of an assignment. You have to request him or her to give you some more time, because you cannot meet the deadline just because of any issue. You can write it in your body that you missed or you just cannot meet the deadline because of your some personal commitment, or maybe you have some appointments, some appointment at the hospital or some other issues. And you can also see, you can also write like the proof is attached here with this email, or the you can say the letter of appointment is a doctor's appointment is attached here with this email. So you can also attach the supporting you can say the documents with your email, so that your teacher get an idea that really just because of the personal commitment you cannot meet this deadline. So students, right now you're not supposed to attach anything, but you have to write an email. So what is the platform? This platform is same. Now first understood what you have to do, and then you will work on it. Again, you will open this slido.com. When you open this website, they will ask you a code. You have to write this code, and then the same screen will appear, and there will be a dialog box. And in the dialog box, you can first write do not write the recipient email ID. Just write the subject and then write the subject. Then move towards the next line. Write the salutation, dear Miss Shrisi, or dear Sir Raji, whosoever is your email teacher. Then give a space. Then write your body, and then give a space, and then write your name and your affiliation with Umran, like Rimsha Iqbal, German A1 Umran. So it will give an idea that I am a student of German A1 language and I am from Umran. So this is the way you have to write. Is it clear to you, students?
Yes, ma'am.
As soon as you will send your email will comes over here in a form of a message, and then inshallah I will read your emails and I will identify, and we together will identify the mistakes. So you have to mention subject, salutation, body, and signature means your name and affiliation. So start doing it. I am waiting for your responses.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, can you share the format over here, like the two CC, BCC format you were showing before? So we could like see over here, and then we could type text over there properly in the correct sequence.
Actually I cannot shift from this screen because it is connected with the website. As soon as I will shift, then you will the screen that is appeared over in your cell phone or wherever you have opened this Slido, it will disappear. So I will guide you verbally. Just write the word SUBJECT subject, give colon, and write the subject. Do not no need to write the recipient email ID over here. Then move to the next line, write salutation, and then so on your message, and in the end your signature.
So like we can skip the typical format over here.
Yes, simple format. You have to use a simple format because this is not primarily for writing in emails. Now, I expect that I'll share, but somehow I cannot manage to share an exact format. So you just have to write in a form of a message. But these four things should be there in your email. In your message, you can say like that.
Okay,
is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mazhar Ali and Wasif, you are requested not to use these annotate on the screen, please. Do what I have given you. Do the task that I have assigned you.
Okay, ma'am.
Abla, those who have not joined this program in your class, ask them why they have not joined, and they must write an email to you. If they don't write an email, you have your official email. If they don't write in your email, please note down. Okay. Okay. And take the attendance who are not in the cultural program.
Okay, sure.
That's really nice. We have received first email from Arshadul Islam. See, he has written the subject submission of assignment. I'm just waiting for other emails, then I'll read the overall messages. I guess I'm creating some confusion. So we are going to we have started receiving the messages. So we will receive.
You got muted.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Adiba, just wait for other participants. Then, inshallah, we'll discuss. Students, you just have 5 more minutes. Then I will end this activity and then we will start reading the different emails and we will try to identify the mistakes from them. And we will also appreciate if an email is written in a very in a proper way and then contain if all that contain all the important elements. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Let's start reading. Students, I request you to come back to the screen where my screen, please, on Zoom screen, so that we can start reading a few emails and we can identify the mistakes. Just because of time constraints, I cannot read all the emails, but I'll try to read few. So I'm going to start from this first email. Subject is late submission of assignment. That's fine. Try not to use all caps lock. or as I told you, respected madam, that's fine. You need to give one space. As I told you, this is Larep. I guide you to give one line space between salutation and your message. So you have to give one line space over here. This is to inform you, your current self, that I, Faikal Arif, a student of cultural program of Urdu A1, I'm not being able to complete my last assignment, which was given as a homework, as I met a severe accident last night. I would be highly obliged if you please grant me some more time to complete this assignment. That's fine. Somehow the message is communicated. See, the closing or complimentary close is missing over here. You can write regards, thanks, sincerely, and then your name and affiliation. So that's good. Very nice attempt. A good attempt from Lare. Then this one we are going to read. This email is by Zainab Fatma. All right. Late submission of assignment due to chronic illness. That's fine. The subject is clear. Dear Ramsha ma'am. All right. Uh, in formal language, we have to write M-double-A-M. So you have to take care of this. Hope you are doing well. I am really sorry for the late submission of assignment. I had fever and some other health issues. I request you to please accept my assignment. I would be grateful to you. That's great. Please find the attached below. Assignment is attached. Thank you. Great. And your signature. Very nice, Zainab. Very nice attempt. Good. Then I'm going to skip one email and I'm going to read this one. Apology in delaying to submit the assignment. All right. The subject line is quite clear. Dear Miss Mahima, A1 French language teacher, great. Good day and hope you are okay. I would like to inform you that I have a hospital appointment with the dentist tomorrow and I will not be able to attend the class. Attached copy of appointment. What is the issue in this email? Can you identify?
Sorry. The subject should be apology for not attending the class.
Yes, that's
It should,
the issue.
should be apology for not attending the class.
That's fine. So the subject should be according to the body. So it's
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Abdur Rahman. We are in a process of learning. That's why we are here. So otherwise, your email is written in a very proper format. Very nice. But you have to make sure about the exact subject line, and your body should be according to the subject line.
Yes, it was my mistake. Thank you.
No problem. So after best regards, you can also put a comma and then you have your affiliation. Great. I'm
Thank you.
again going to skip 2 emails and then I'm going to read this one next. Subject is late submission of assignment. We also have to take care of formatting students. The late L will start with a capital letter. Dear Faizan sir, comma it should be there or colon should be there. Then again, students, you need to give a space between salutation and your body. So space is missing. We need to give a space. And then I hope this email finds you in good health. Very nice. Yesterday I had an appointment with the dentist, so I couldn't submit the assignment on time. I will be submitting it by tomorrow morning and I apologize for the inconvenience. Very nice. And also find the test below in support of this. Very nice. Best regards and your name. Great. Good, Rizwan. All right. I'm also skipping 2 and I'm going to read this one by Bushra. Subject, Bushra, Turkish A1 assignment late submission. All right. When you are writing your signature, when you are writing your affiliation, then there is no need to give affiliation over here. So respected Hectica ma'am, that's fine. Again, Bushra, you have to give a space between salutation and your message. Okay? With due respect, I would like to bring your notice that I was unable to complete my assignment in the given time schedule. All right. My apologies for late submission. Great. The reason why I is all whenever I comes sorry. Whenever you are using I as a single letter, then you have to write it in a capital. I could not see, you do not need to use this contractions. As I told you, write properly. I could not submit on time due to your grandfather death. All right. Hope you will be understanding. You will see, you are not supposed to use the contractions. So try to use proper sentences and then your affiliation. That's great. Students, again, we are skipping 2. All right, we are going to read this last email by Arshadul Islam, the first student who sent the email, submission of assignment but delayed for valid reasons. All right. Hello, ma'am seems quite informal. It's better to write dear ma'am or the name of your teacher, as I told you, and do not put a full stop. You are going to use either colon or a comma. Greetings are missing, so try to write. All right. Salutation is there. Kindly accept my assignment as I could not submit. So do not use contraction, please. It on time as due to some swear, but health concerns. Swear health concerns. Thanks and obliged. All right. It's from O. Yours sincerely and your name. All right. A very nice attempt from you all. I hope you will get the message what I want to communicate. That's great, students. Now moving towards a short quiz. Are you ready for it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to share this link on the chat box, and you will just open this link. Then there will be a form. It's a Google form. Few questions are there, and there are the options. So you just have 10 minutes for it. It's almost 10:20 in Pakistan, and then we will end it at 10:30. So you have 1 minute for one MCQ. Just give me a minute. Let me paste it in the chat box. Here you go, students. Your time started now. You have 10 minutes to do it. Good luck.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
As soon as I'm opening the link, it says that you need permission.
All right, let me check. Just a minute. Let me check it.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's not working.
Ma'am, it's working now. Thank you.
Excuse me, from where I can get it? I cannot see it. You are mute. You are mute.
Sorry, students. From the chat box, you can get the link. I have again pasted the link. Please open it. The form will appear, and you just have to attempt the MCQs over there.
What? Sorry, where is the check box?
Chat box is there in your. It is there on your screens, sir. You can check it.
Sorry, I cannot see anything.
You are connected via cell or you are using a laptop?
No, I'm on the screen. I cannot see anything. I can see you, but I can't see anything.
You touch the screen. Touch the screen. When you touch the screen, you will see the more button there. There maybe you will find the number of messages.
Students, please confirm that the form is open. The access is available.
Okay, just a minute.
I'm submitted.
Great, Bushra. We will also wait for other students and then we'll have a look on the results.
Okay, ma'am.
You people have 5 more minutes to submit it. I am waiting for your responses, students.
Done, ma'am.
That's great. I'm just waiting for other participants to submit it. We just have 2 more minutes and then inshallah I'll discuss the results and then we'll be having the question answer session.
Excuse me, ma'am.
All right. Yes.
Ma'am, could we finish it like a bit early because it's already 11 o'clock here.
What you are saying, I didn't hear you properly.
Ma'am, I'm saying that could we finish a bit early because it's already 11 o'clock here.
All right, we are just ending this. That is basically the last activity, so we are just ending
Okay,
it.
ma'am.
I'm just going to share the results. Like students, I guess the screen is visible, so we have 8.55 out of 10 points average, which is really good. And the range is from 2 to 10, like the minimum score is 2 and the maximum is 10 points, which mean that students overall they know and they get to know about the different elements of email, and the purpose of, you can say, the workshop is fulfilled successfully, alhamdulillah. That's all, students, from my side. And if you have any question or if you want to comment on this workshop, then you people are more than welcome. Yes, students.
I finish, Abdurrahman.
That's great, sir. All right, students, that's all from my side. If you have any question or if you want to make any comment, then you people are welcome.
Okay, so how was the okay? How was this workshop? Did you get the benefit from this?
Yes, mashallah. It's very nice,
Yes,
mashallah.
sir.
Okay, it was a little bit longer, and I mean generally we have 1 hour session, but when it is a workshop, it might get longer. So as you see that, I mean, we all have been, I mean, with this program, stick to the program. So I hope that this has been beneficial for all of you. And if you have any type of suggestion, comments, or feedback, you can write. And please do not miss any of our culture program, because we are working too much on this. Okay, entire Umran team is working very much, giving their time. I have to submit my thesis, and I mean I'm age of, like, on deadline actually, and but still I have stick with you for more than 2 hours. So why I'm saying this, just to bring you in notice. So thank you very much for all of you, and Rimsha Iqbal especially for this wonderful session, and all the participants, and Sunavla and Abdul Rahman, and all people from all over the world. Thank you very much. See you again.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Rimsha ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I would also like to say thanks to all the participants, to all the students, for your time, for your active participation, and for being there in the workshop. I really understand. And next time I'll shall I try to have take care of time as well, because time management is very important. So I do not have an idea about this much time it takes, but I guess and I hope that the purpose of workshop is fulfilled. And I'm reading your comments, and that gives me just an idea that you people get what the purpose of workshop. So thank you
Yes,
so
it
much
did.
for your time.
It did really well. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Rimsha.
Thank you for you, Rimsha and Mr. Rajiv. Thank you very much.
Please allow me to leave because it's Maghrib now already. Rajiv, see you. Thank you so much, Rajiv.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Sabah khair. Good night.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Mr. Rajiv. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Ms.
much,
Rimsha.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sir,
you.
Rajiv sir.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Rajiv sir.
Thank you very much, Hussein sir. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if you don't mind, could we shift the time slot for the cultural meet?
I think we can shift half an hour ago, because then it will be fine. Because this we have already arranged this timing. What is your suggestion for this timing?
Sir, actually it gets quite late past the like time, bedtime
So
and all.
we have now this program 5:30 India Istanbul time. So I think 8 will
It
be
started
fine.
at 9 in
8
so
will be fine Indian
yes
time.
sir, it will be fine.
Okay. So we will change this time 8 p.m. Indian time. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good night.